Welcome to the B&M English Podcast. My name is Mary.
And I am Bruno. It is very nice to be here with you today.
Bruno, you look very calm today. Did you drink your morning coffee?
Yes, Mary. I always drink a cup of coffee in the morning. It helps me open my eyes. I mean, without coffee, I am like a zombie.
I know what you mean. Many people love a good cup of coffee to start the day. But sometimes ordering coffee can be a little difficult, right? Especially when you are learning a new language.
Oh, it is very difficult. Yesterday, I went to a new cafe down the street. I walked inside and looked at the menu. I just wanted a simple, normal coffee. But the menu had so many words.
Yes, coffee shops have a lot of special words. Let us help our listeners with some basic vocabulary first. Bruno, what size did you want?
Well, I was very tired, so I wanted a big cup. But the waiter asked me, "Do you want a regular size or a large size?" I stopped and thought, wait, what does regular mean?
That is a great question. In most coffee shops, a regular size means a medium size. It is the normal choice. If you are very tired, like Bruno, you should ask for a large size.
Right, so regular means medium. I learned that the hard way. I told the waiter, no regular, give me the extra big one.
Extra is another good word. We use extra when we want more of something. For example, you can ask for extra milk, extra sugar, or an extra large cup.
Yes, and that word, extra, caused a very big problem for me later.
Oh dear, what happened, Bruno?
I will tell you in a moment, Mary. But first, I also saw the word order on the wall. The sign said, place your order here.
Ah, yes. To order means to ask for food or drink in a restaurant or cafe. Your order is the noun, the actual thing you ask for. So you place your order at the counter. Exactly. I stood at the counter, ready to make my order. I was ready to sound very professional. But things did not go as planned.
So, Bruno, you were standing at the counter, ready to place your order. What happened next?
Well, the waiter asked me what I wanted. I wanted to sound sophisticated. I saw the word cappuccino on the menu. It sounded very nice, like music. So, in a very calm voice, I said, I want an extra large cappuccino, please.
An extra large cappuccino. That is a very big drink. A cappuccino usually has 3 equal parts. It has espresso coffee, hot milk, and a lot of milk foam on top.
Yes, foam. That is the fluffy white air bubbles on top of the milk, right?
Exactly. Foam is just milk mixed with hot air to make it light and fluffy. It looks like a cloud sitting on your coffee.
Well, I did not know that. I thought foam was just a small decoration. So I told the waiter, please give me extra foam. I want a lot of it.
Oh no, Bruno. If you ask for an extra large cappuccino with extra foam, you are asking for a giant cup of air.
Yes, that is exactly what happened. The waiter looked at me strangely, but he smiled and said okay. After 5 minutes, he called my name. I went to get my coffee. Mary, the cup was huge. It was the size of a small watermelon.
A watermelon? You are joking.
I am not joking. It was enormous. I picked it up, and it felt very light. It felt like an empty cup. I looked inside, and I could not see any black coffee. I only saw a massive mountain of white milk foam.
So there was no liquid coffee at the bottom?
There was a very tiny amount of espresso at the very bottom, but 90% of the cup was just white foam. I paid a lot of money for a cup of hot cloud. I stood there holding this giant watermelon cup, trying to look cool, but I felt very silly.
That is a very funny mistake. At an A2 English level, It is important to remember that words like extra change the balance of your food. Next time, if you want a normal coffee with a lot of milk, you should order a regular latte. A latte has much more liquid milk and only a tiny bit of foam.
A latte. Right. I need to write that word down in my notebook.
So there I was, Mary. I was holding this massive, watermelon-sized cup of foam, trying to walk back to my table. I wanted to look very cool and relaxed, you see.
Let me guess. Looking cool in a busy cafe is always a dangerous plan, Bruno.
It really is. I mean, the cup was so light because it was just air, but it was so wide I could not see my own feet. Suddenly, my shoe hit the leg of a chair. I lost my balance.
Oh no. Did you drop the giant cup?
Worse. The cup stayed in my hands, but that massive mountain of white foam flew straight up into the air. It was like a slow-motion movie. Then, everything came down.
Let me guess. It did not land on the floor.
No, Mary. It landed perfectly on my chest. I was wearing my brand new white shirt. In a second, I looked like a snowman. There was white foam from my neck down to my belt. It was a complete spill.
To spill is a very important word for our learners. It means to accidentally make liquid or fluid flow over the edge of a container. We usually spill water or tea, but you managed to spill a cloud of milk.
Yes, I created a new type of mess. A foam spill. The worst part was that everyone in the cafe stopped talking and looked at me. I just smiled, wiped some foam off my nose, and walked to the counter to pay. I wanted to leave immediately.
I understand. You just wanted to run away. But first, you had to pay the bill.
Exactly. The waiter looked at me with pity. He tapped on his computer and said, "That will be $12, sir." I was so embarrassed that my brain stopped working. I looked at the little screen, but I could not understand the numbers. I asked him, "What is the total?"
The total. That word means the final amount of money you must pay after everything is added together. It is the sum of the bill.
Right. He pointed to the screen and said again, "The total is $12. I opened my wallet. My hands were shaking. I only had a $50 note. I gave it to him. He took it and started counting coins and smaller notes. He said, "Here is your change, sir."
Change has a few meanings in English, but at the cash counter, change means the money you get back when you give a larger note than the price. $50 minus $12 means your change was $38.
Yes. I grabbed the change, left the giant cup of foam on the counter, and ran out the door. My white shirt was ruined, my wallet was lighter, and I was still incredibly sleepy because I had zero caffeine.
So you paid $12 for a white shirt decoration and no coffee. That truly is the big cappuccino mistake.
It is amazing how a simple coffee order can turn into such a big adventure, Bruno. But you learned some very useful words.
Yes, I did. I learned them the hard way, Mary. Now I know exactly what to say when I want a normal coffee with milk. I will just ask for a regular latte, please. No extra foam for me, ever again.
That is a very safe choice. Now, let us review our target vocabulary for today before we finish. We talked about how to place an order, which means to ask for your food or drink. We learned about choosing a regular size or a large size.
And we learned about foam, which is the fluffy air bubbles on top, and how easy it is to spill it all over a new white shirt.
Yes, we must be careful with that. We also covered extra, which means more of something, the total bill, and the change you get back from the waiter.
It is a lot of good vocabulary for a casual day at a coffee shop. I hope our listeners can use these words next time they go to a cafe.
Now, it is time for our podcast challenge. Listeners, we want to hear from you. Have you ever made a mistake while ordering food or drink in English? What did you say?
Yes, please share your stories with us. It will make me feel much better about my giant cup of foam.
Thank you for listening to the B&M English Podcast today. Keep practicing your English, step by step.
Goodbye, everyone. See you in the next episode.